Yeah, we're gonna.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.
The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
A podcast discussing all things AEW and WWE.
Give me a hell yeah!
Now, let's meet the host.
Are you ready?
Kyle Gagliardi.
The face that runs the place.
Jim Tucker.
It's the kid.
And Erica Marini.
I'm the boss. I'm the blueprint. I'm the standard.
Well, I think we've had enough talk. It's time for the main event.
What is going on, everyone? You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Marks, for the Marks, and I am your host, Mr. OTM Kyle Gagliardi, and one of my co-hosts is my good friend, Jim Tucker, or as I like to call him, Tucky!
What's going on, Kyle? I hear you're in a bit of a snowstorm.
Living the dream, I guess you could say. Not really.
Heck yeah. Kyle, we are back. We are joined by at Erica_0328. Erica Marini, how we doing? We got the sheet in the background playing the hits tonight.
Yeah, I think this is really setting the tone
do.
for what the show is going to be tonight.
It's gonna be,
what did you call her earlier?
Show. It's going to be a big show. You see what I did there? That's actually Erica Lesnarini. Sorry for the misintroduction. You can still find her at Erica_0328 on Twitter. But it's not uncommon for wrestlers to change gimmicks or have a different persona every once in a while. And from what I've heard, the people have said that Lesnarini hits different, just like WWE 2K22. So we'll see.
Can you confirm, Marini? Does it hit different?
Oh, it hits different.
Okay. Well, it's nice that you got a background this evening.
Yes, thanks. Are you happy, Bogus, wherever you are?
He's probably lurking, but one of Tuck's students is lurking. Josh popping in with the first comment tonight.
We did. He and I just put it up at practice. You know, he got in, got after it. We got tryouts Saturday and Monday, so trying to get him in tip-top shape. 6-week grade reports are coming up, and he's rocking an 88% right now. So we got to make some moves tomorrow.
We got to get to the 90. Got to get to that 90 mark.
So we got to see if we can cook the books a little bit tomorrow and make the math add up. And I probably shouldn't have said that on air.
Hey, that's okay. We're rooting for Josh. We got his back. OTM has your back.
It takes a village for these kids. Josh is a great kid. Honorary MVM. He does have a decal. People forget.
Hey, he deserves it, especially for being the first one to get it and get after it here this evening. And we might as well get in and get after it because, guys, once again, another week full of news here in professional wrestling. The biggest one being that everybody's probably heard by now, Cody and Brandy Rhodes have parted ways with AEW and are expected to sign with WWE in the near future. And obviously, there's a lot to take in here. We even extended an invite to the OTM Side Pieces group chat, but nobody wanted to join us, which is unfortunate. I thought you meant
we extended an invite to Cody to come on the show. That forbidden door is open as well.
Yeah,
the door is always open if any wrestler wants to hop on here. But guys, this feels like a big deal because we've seen a bunch of WWE people jump over to AEW, but this is truly the first person that could be jumping from AEW to the WWE.
Yeah,
and what I have to say? Sorry.
Go ahead, ladies first.
Classic. This was like a question that we saw. Like
that doesn't even make sense.
Because I lost my train of thought.
Hey, girl.
It probably has to do with Cody Rhodes, I would assume.
Are you from Tennessee?
Not this again.
No, I'm just kidding. This was like a question that had been like broached many times on Twitter, and I don't think that Cody was ever one that people suggested to be the first one to leave AEW to WWE. I saw a lot of Whatever, Vogus. I saw a lot of Brian Cage and the Wardlow talk and whatever else, but no Cody. So it threw me for a loop, but I've been nothing but ready for like all the juice that came with it.
The defections have been one-sided, so we would tune into AEW to see who else would pop up and this or that. And Cody wouldn't have been in my top 5. He's a great signee for WWE, kind of taking that, like we talked about, that Drew McIntyre path maybe, but he wouldn't have been in my top 5 of like likely to leave because of the assumed apparently the assumed power that I thought he had. But it sounds like it may have been a budget thing too, where Tony was sticking to a strict budget. And then there's also reports of him losing some of his creative power as well. So interesting layers. My initial reaction was like, damn, like interesting, not mind blown the way a CM Punk would come back or
yeah,
it's just different because now it's kind of, this is business. This is a business move. This is like, it'll get a pop and it'll go really well, but at some point it also doesn't surprise me. Dusty Rhodes, right? Like,
yeah,
Cody always has that tie too, so we'll see. But that's a big swing back from WWE.
Well, I think going off of what you were saying, kind of the fact that he was an EVP with All Elite Wrestling, like he's one of the founding guys with the Young Bucks with Kenny Omega that kind of started up this whole thing. I mean, he's the main reason why AEW is here. He started off with All In. He had all these people that weren't in WWE, the biggest names, the most talented wrestlers, all come together for this pay-per-view, and that evolved into another company. So like with those reports that you were talking about, Tuck, there's also reports that they may be just interested in Cody and not specifically Brandy herself, which I find interesting because even if Brandy is not going to wrestle, she has, ring announcing abilities that she's done in the past. But maybe Erica just comes down to the fact that if Brandy was going to get that contract, she wants to be a part of the active roster.
I also think that she would do really well in that environment. Don't you?
Yeah, I do.
And I mean, I understand that too. When Cody was in WWE, he was, mid-card, this and that. And I've seen some people say, why would you leave AEW just to go back to the mid-card? But I think he's really built himself up to something that he wasn't in WWE. And I think if he goes back to WWE, he's still going to be that big presence. Even if the people that don't watch AEW, Cody Rhodes, how huge he is there. I would like to see him or rather see Brandy with him. But I think he's going to go right to the main event spot. No?
Well, yeah, I do. But Tuck, let me bring this up. I was just listening to the Masked Man Show, another great podcast out there that you can check out. Ryan Vogus is the one that actually turned me on to that show. But they were talking about that Cody, kind of reinventing himself and establishing himself as a top name in the industry over the past 3 years. He probably instantly, when going to WWE, and if he does sign with WWE, because this is not official yet, this still could be a work. You never know with professional wrestling, but it doesn't really sound like one. But if he were to go over to WWE right now, Tuck, he's probably a top 5 name, right? Like he's got to be a main eventer in that company.
I agree. And it's like WWE, dude, there's always something, right? What's SummerSlam going to look like? Oh, have you ever heard of John Cena? We can run that for a few months. Like they're always and it might have been why the Royal Rumble was a little bit of a letdown, because they're always pulling shit from somewhere. Yeah. They're always, they have that pull and they have that resource. I didn't think it was going to be Cody, but when you think of formidable opponents for Roman Reigns coming up, who is it? The Brock and Roman bit it can't last forever. So, that put him up at the top. Let's see how it goes. But then again, do they put him at the top and then put him over? Do you have this are they going to let an AEW guy come over and, immediately go?
I think that's part of the intrigue for Vince, is that not only is this an AEW guy, but it's somebody that started with WWE, made himself in the WWE before going to AEW, and now he's coming back home, quote unquote. So Vince is probably not dumb enough to, just neglect him and put him in the mid card. And I see the comment all the time, when he goes to WWE, he's just going to end up being Stardust again, No, they're not that fucking stupid. They're not going to turn him into Stardust. He's not going to be chasing the 24/7 title.
No,
it's not happening.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No.
I think he's something so different now that I don't see that happening outside. I mean, no. And I forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead. And if they ever wanted to turn Roman face, why not have him? Why not have somebody like Cody Rhodes be the one? Because everyone's just going to be in an uproar. No?
I'm just saying Keith Lee was can't miss, and they airballed on it. So
yeah, but Cody was established before. Keith Lee was never established on the main roster.
I'm the only one that has faith in this.
I don't care.
No, bogus. No.
I don't care. I have faith. We watch WWE every week. We still have faith. We're blind believers. We're the worst. But I thought Keith Lee was can't miss, and so I'm excitement level 10 out of 10. Curiosity, like faith, 7 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10. We'll see. They have been given a bag of money. Can they utilize it correctly? Because Keith Lee was that same thing, and they fucked it.
Do you think that's the main reason why he came over? Probably, Erica, is a money situation. Like AEW probably wasn't giving him the money he thought he deserved.
I mean, I also find that I don't know. I don't know because that's never been like me. I was actually just having this conversation about something different. Like I've just never been the type to do something solely for money or do something with just the wrong, whatever the word is. I don't know. And then
aside
also
from joining this podcast, that's a business move. Patreon.com/pot on the mark, $3.99 a month.
Like I thought maybe did he want to like take some time off to just be like a normal family?
Which he still could be doing. We don't know for sure.
Does he want to do another Indies run? Does he want to go back to WWE eventually? Yeah. I mean, and then I saw people say like he wasn't like I don't know, something about like the AEW fans. I don't know. I bet you it's just a combination of a bunch of little things that ultimately ended up just having him step away, which is still.
I don't know if you guys saw too. He actually tweeted for the first time since leaving the company. Somebody responded to him talking about this whole situation as a whole. Had this, Twitter follower very emotional, and he said he didn't watch AEW because Cody wasn't there. But Cody responded about 3 hours ago, and he said, "I'd encourage you to still watch it. I was very lucky that my hard work led to be that face, but I wasn't alone." He goes on to, list all the names there as well. And he goes, "Wrestling is thriving. Please still watch if you can." So even if he is going over to WWE, it's kind of cool to see Cody, take action on Twitter and say, "Hey, still show some love to AEW."
Yeah, it's
a good time to be a wrestling fan.
It's true.
When that news happened, I quote tweeted that with Tux saying he's been saying probably since episode 1. I don't even remember episode 1. Tuck, what did we talk about?
Us. It was like, "Welcome to On the Mark. Oh, yeah. I'm Jim, and I'm Kyle, and we're going to talk about wrestling things."
It probably was very bad.
Didn't somebody joke that Cody and Shane and Triple H were like going to get together and create like another company?
Yeah, the Control Your Narrative company.
Huh?
The Control Your Narrative company.
With I don't want that.
Well, are you one of those people that's like anti that company already just because of the people that are running it?
Because I think it's going to be dumb.
I mean, it might
based off the people that are running it. Who's the third person? Or is it just the two of them?
I don't know. Maybe
there's another guy, but he's not.
Did you watch that video?
Yeah, I did. It wasn't bad. I don't know why people are hating on it. Yeah, I thought it was pretty solid.
Well, are you upset because you feel out of control of your own narrative?
You know what?
You had her stunned. You have her stunned.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
So let's go back to this Cody thing. So if he were hypothetically to sign with WWE, I'm assuming they'd probably either want to set up a WrestleMania match or have some kind of plans for him. So Tuck, if you're booking this thing, or at least maybe what's something you want to see in the return of Cody Rhodes coming to WWE?
Sami Zayn, Johnny Knoxville, WrestleMania triple threat. We'll see it.
Gee, that can't be.
I was with you with Sami Zayn. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, all right. Johnny Knoxville. No. Oh, okay.
Is that happening at Mania, by the way? I think it is, right?
I think it is. That's the rumors on the streets.
Is it?
Yeah, they're
Yeah, read a book. Pick up a book, Erica.
But no, Tuck, do you really have any like thoughts that came to your head like right away?
Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins. Like bring him in and keep him out of a gimmick, get him against a professional, right? Like the wrestler, the architect, right? Put him against Seth freaking Rollins, let him have a banger. And then that allows you to put Seth over even more, right? As you continue to build him up. So I think him and Seth, him and Drew is another one that could, I think Drew stands more to gain from that. When I think the Cody and Seth thing is pretty, that's just pretty high voltage because Cody's recently worked with Moxley in AEW as well. So he's got that tie in. Has he ever beat Moxley?
I'm not sure.
Cody ever beat Moxley? I don't think he did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know if
to
they
my
ever
knowledge.
faced each other.
Is there anybody that's still on that roster that was there before he left?
What do you mean? On WWE's roster?
Yeah.
A lot of people. I'm pretty sure he was still there when the Shield was a thing. You know, the Shield was there.
I'm just saying that could play into it as well.
No, yeah. You're talking like storyline wise for him to just jump right back into something.
Yeah.
Ryan Vogus chime in, of course, and he says Veer for the first time he will come to Raw, and maybe Cody Rhodes will too. The first thing that
that's their first.
No, what were you gonna say, Todd?
When was Cody's last year?
I want to say 2015, 2016. Maybe I'm too early on that, but yeah, go ahead and look that up. But the immediate thing that I thought of, and maybe I'm shooting too high for the stars here, but I'm thinking Roman Reigns, like Cody Rhodes coming in after establishing himself somewhere else into the main event picture. And talks about it. Like, we've already fed so many people to Roman Reigns. Why not Cody Rhodes? You know, like, it just makes so much sense to me, whether it's after the match at WrestleMania, say Roman faces Brock Lesnar and he defeats Brock Lesnar. What if Cody's music hits and he confronts Roman Reigns? And the last thing you see at WrestleMania 38 is Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns in the ring. I think that's money.
I'm into that. I also am now wanting Cody to be the one to take the belt off of Roman.
Okay. So, yeah. All right.
I just could see that gaining legs.
There's a lot of opportunities here with him potentially coming back to the company. And this is like the very first of its kind here with AEW coming over to WWE. Yeah. And you never know if WWE can knock this out of the park with Cody and prove to other people that maybe will not get their contracts picked up by Tony Khan, that there is life on the other side. Like, it's not the end all be all if you go back over to WWE. So if they can figure out what to do with Cody Rhodes, put him in the right situations, I think that might open the door for somebody else.
Do you think that Cody goes over there and is like, here's a list of like demands, almost like, I have my creative control. I'm not giving you my name and my star power just to have you bury me into the ground. Like, do you think he comes with some sort of...
I wouldn't be surprised, because apparently he was not too happy with the creative control he was getting towards the end. Or you can just have him come back and have him repair that throne that he destroyed Triple H's, and that's his way back in the
Sorry,
WWE.
guys. Hey, that's his vignette. He's repairing the throne.
I mean, that's
guys,
money.
just over here, it just had this throne that I was putting together here. When it comes to the last time I see him on a full roster is 2016. You've got guys like AJ Styles. He was on SmackDown. Big E.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar, Cesaro, a lot of names that are not.
What
there.
if he's
Dolph?
Like, I think I'm just very hopeful. Like, what if he acts as like a bar rescue type and like he goes to WWE and like fixes
who needs a drink
you're doing wrong? Do you know what I mean?
No, I get what
you're
saying.
Roman, Sami Zayn, Seth.
What if he takes over NXT?
The Miz,
what if he does?
A lot of people not.
Yeah. So I mean,
very optimistic for this.
It's very exciting time. You know,
Triple H's health is up in the air.
Yeah.
Cody knows creative NXT.
It could get very interesting here. So we'll see. Maybe next week or the week after we'll have official news of Cody signing. But that was obviously the biggest news that I wanted to get into right away, and then news that was kind of overshadowed by all this, you know, Cody Rhodes talk is the fact that the WWE is apparently interested in bringing back Stone Cold Steve Austin for a match at WrestleMania 38. Yeah, what indeed? Austin hasn't wrestled in 19 years, but the fact that they're reaching out, one, is very cool. Two, seems kind of desperate to maybe draw in some more attention. And three, I don't think it's a losing situation. I think we all win.
In August of 2020, Steve Austin purchased a ring for Broken Skull Ranch 2.0, 16 minutes away from my house. So there is a ring there.
Are you insinuating he's been training?
There's been a wrestling ring on his property.
Interesting.
Haven't creeped to find it myself. I'm still working on that. I have got the location verified.
The MVM is saying this is bigger news than Cody. In terms of the careers that both these men have had, yes, but what's your initial thought here, Erica? Obviously, you were probably a big fan of Stone Cold back in the day. Hasn't wrestled in 19 years. Him at WrestleMania, what are you thinking?
I mean, he's my number one.
Really? He is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He was like, yeah. I mean, obviously, like, I loved Goldust, but like, he was like my number one favorite, like,
okay,
as like an adolescent. And I love Kevin Owens, obviously, and I really should be like blowing through the ceiling on this. I don't know. I just kind of see it being like, huh?
I don't want him to get hurt. Old boy.
I don't want him to get hurt. I don't want him to embarrass himself. And it's just kind of like, what are we doing? Just because we both do the stunner?
Good luck pounding those IPAs instead of like the Bud Lights, though. When he gets on the top rope and they start chucking those Broken Skull IPAs, he better not have too many before the match starts. I'll tell you what.
You know?
That was the first thing that I was kind of worried about, is obviously the age and, getting hurt again. But you see all these other people come back, like Goldberg. And honestly, and I still hate Goldberg, and we'll talk about him later when we talk about the Elimination Chamber, but he had some of his better matches, I think, towards the back end of his career. So I'm not going to say that Stone Cold's going to go out there and shit the bed, because I think it's going to be awesome. And you brought up Kevin Owens, Erica, he had these weird promos these last 2 weeks on Raw, kind of just like bashing Texas. It's very interesting timing going on. Maybe Stone Cold already said yes, but I'm down. Let's do it. Let's get weird Stone Cold at WrestleMania.
I think some of those spots where Stone Cold was hurt too, he was risking things for career advancement. Good evening, Donna. He's in a spot now where they can just kind of work out the whole match where he's doing things that he won't die from. Hopefully.
And maybe it's not a match that's announced. Like, maybe this is just like a rumor that potentially was spoiled for us. Like you said, Kyle, he has been crapping on Texas the last couple of weeks. So maybe that just carries on. And then he's at WrestleMania. He's in Dallas at AT&T Stadium. And he's, in the ring cutting on Texas. And then the glass shatters.
Right.
And he comes down and Stone Cold just
I don't know. I think as soon as he signs the line, they're announcing it. They on Valentine's Day, they did a 2-for-1 WrestleMania deal. You could get 2 tickets for the price of 1, and it got shit on, so they pulled it down. So I think WWE's nervous about tickets here, and trying to pack that building. Too. If Stone Cold signs a dotted line, I would be very confident that they're going to announce that, which frustrates me because where are the pops? And we thought we were going to get it at the Royal Rumble again here, but but whatever.
You're still going to get a pop. It doesn't. If Stone Cold comes back after nearly 2 decades, I mean, the reaction is going to be insane. And if it's Kevin Owens, which I do believe it would be, I really can't think of anybody else off the top of my head. If Stone Cold were to come back, we see people are like maybe Lesnar because the beef that they have in the past, but then there's a match where I think Stone Cold could definitely get hurt.
Yeah.
Like Lesnar could kill him.
Yeah. Very concerned.
That was a nervous. Yeah.
Come on, Steve.
Do you think that the lack of ticket sales that you just said, Tuck, do you think that maybe this plants a seed for them, like in the future, like, oh, maybe we should go back to one night? Because if you had all of that on one card right now, people aren't buying. You don't know what's on what night.
That's such a long show, though.
One night. Why am I going to waste my money and that be like the crappier of the 2 cards? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's also a good point because you don't know what night he would land on. But
What kind of psychopath is buying one ticket to a 2-day WrestleMania? I don't trust
Maybe
him.
people
I
that
don't
live
like
in
him.
Texas.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, obviously, if you're making the trip, though, you're probably going to both. And that they just announced that NXT Takeover is happening like in the morning on Saturday. So there's going to be people going to NXT Takeover, and then there's a bunch of other shit.
Talk about smacking bottomless mimosas. That is going to be
you saw me at You saw me at the Royal Rumble, Kyle. At a WrestleMania, I'd be dead.
Yeah, you would be.
Well, I did it.
I saw I saw a bottle of Pink Whitney in the store the other day. I almost threw up in my mouth.
Flashbacks. Tuck was having flashbacks.
Oh, that you'd be dead.
I just left $11 or $13 on the ledge and was like, "Here, just don't harm me anymore."
The memories. But hey, rumor is that this is not a one-off thing. It would kind of be similar to what Goldberg is potentially doing, and he could work 2 to 3 matches. And I even saw one report where Saudi obviously is going to want Stone Cold, and they've been rumored to offer him $3 million to do a match. So yeah, he's older. Yeah, he's a little banged up, but $3 million, I'll come back for that.
Well, and that $3 million will pay for your broken back or neck. You'll be fine.
All
right.
Yeah.
That's good.
But regardless, we're all excited.
I've done a lot worse for a lot less. I'll tell you that.
$20 is $20.
Hey, come on now.
So we are excited though, right? Like Stone Cold, it's a big deal.
I'll be excited.
Excited, confirmed. Yeah.
Excited.
Just concerned. Lesnarini's going to turn to.
I'll just have my rosary beads the whole time during that match. It'll be fine.
There you go.
Did you have a nickname as a kid? Like, what's a nickname for Erica as a child?
Air.
Tell me how I'm supposed to breathe with
E.
air.
Did anybody call you E?
I have a friend and her mom. They call me Air Ski.
No air.
Whoa, Aaron coming in with a big comment here. We got a big one, Aaron Oros. I don't know if this was discussed, but I've seen online that WWE has another big thing planned on top of potential Austin in-ring return, maybe The Rock. But it's weird to anyone else that Taker has not been announced into this year's Hall of Fame yet, or at least I don't think he has. 1, no, he has not. 2, I don't want to see Undertaker back in ring. So maybe if the big thing is him being in the Hall of Fame, that's cool. But I did see that report, guys, that Aaron brought up. What if the one big thing left is The Rock at WrestleMania?
Like The Rock and Roman?
Like just maybe at the end of the show, like he just confronts Roman Reigns and that sets up a match for WrestleMania 39.
Wait, when does he come back? Oh, wait, what?
I'm saying at WrestleMania, what if The Rock shows up after Roman Reigns hypothetically defeats Brock Lesnar, and then it just smell at the end of the show, and they have the stare down, and that's it. The Rock, Roman Reigns, that's how you end WrestleMania.
To have that match when though? SummerSlam?
No, I'm saying like set it up for WrestleMania 39 because they did the same shit with Rock and Cena.
Yeah,
wait a whole year.
SummerSlam.
Yeah. I mean, so will I probably, but it's probably not going to happen. I will be there. I've already requested off.
Nashville.
But no, that would be an interesting thing too. If it's not The Rock, though, I don't know who else could it be. You know?
Yeah, at this point.
But hey, if it was The Rock, they're pulling out all the stops for WrestleMania. So that should make people want to buy some tickets right there. Just the rumors going around.
I would do a 2-for-1 deal if The Rock and Stone Cold were going to WrestleMania. I would buy 2 tickets for the price of 1 for sure.
That's a lot to take in. So before we get into Veterans Day, don't forget to show some love to the Overtime Sports Network. Head on over to otsportsnetwork.wixsite.com/OTSN and Tuck. If you're going to give the Overtime Sports Network a follow on Twitter and Instagram, where would you go?
Ladies and gentlemen, I have backed up from the mic. I just wanted to point something out. Right behind me, we have the Overtime Sports Network logo. And right underneath it, if you look in the On the Mark Wrestling yellow, @_OTSN. It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. And if you ever forget during the show, before or after, if you just look right here, boom, right there, @_OTSN.
It's so easy. Erica Marini could do it.
I was just going to say
that should be the tagline for every
same. Yeah.
And then again, I don't think Erica would be able to find Overtime Sports Network if she wasn't already following it. Just saying.
Erica Macaroni definitely could
reconsider.
Yeah, that's why I think that they could be setting it up, Erica, because it is in Hollywood.
Okay.
It would definitely make a lot of sense if The Rock showed up there at the end of WrestleMania. So we're also on Instagram. Make sure to give us a follow at Pod on the Mark, and also TikTok and Twitter. You can see right behind Tuck all the handles. So make sure you're following us in all the social media accounts. So we got done with the headlines. Let's move on over here to Tuesday night with NXT Vengeance Day. Another solid show from top to bottom here from NXT. We won't get into every single match, but we can go over a few of the things here. So I also want to point out the fact that I have noticed on Twitter, and I don't know if you guys' timeline has been a little different, but I don't think I'm alone in the fact that I enjoy the hell out of 2.0. It seems like other people out there are starting to enjoy the product that they're putting out there. Do you guys see the same thing on your timeline, and how do you feel about the way they've been doing 2.0 lately?
I have enjoyed it. Personally, I've seen positive fanfare on social media as well, and I don't really know why, but as I watched Vengeance Day, I was content, right? I enjoyed the show. I didn't think they overdid it with the cheesy vignettes. There are some cheesy gimmicks, but I think now when I tune in, I'm kind of geared towards expecting it and not kind of pushing what I think wrestling should be on to. Now I know what I'm going to get, and it's more enjoyable.
Erica, you enjoying the product pretty more?
I am.
Pretty much more?
I
Pretty
fell off
more.
for a bit because what did you say? Pretty more?
Yeah.
You enjoyed it.
Tuck loves to point out when I fuck up.
Pretty more. I respect that a lot, Tuck.
I do a lot of fucking shows on the internet, okay? I'm not perfect. We can't all be Mr. Teacher over here. You know,
I said crap because I'm trying not to swear, and you're dropping fuck bombs.
I'll drop as many fuck bombs as I want. I'm the face that runs the place. Have you seen the intro?
Madonna me.
But yeah, NXT. How you feeling about it?
Listen, I fell off.
Fuck you.
For a few weeks because it just wasn't doing it for me. I don't know. I think it just needed to like find its. I keep saying legs. It needs to like
footing.
Whatever. It needed to like figure itself out. And I just the characters, like you guys were saying, like it was like kind of cheesy gimmicks, and it was almost making me like sad to watch it. Like I didn't need to see Duke Hudson pretend to be like a poker player or all that crap. I was just like, this is just not. They should be doing so much better. They could be doing so much better. So I was just disappointed, and I couldn't put myself through it. But I will say, like the last few weeks or months, whatever, that
I'd say a month,
have tuned back in. It's come back in a big way, and it's got my attention again. And it's something that now on a Tuesday night I'm watching, and not just saying, oh, NXT's on, that's fine, I'll just watch whatever. Like, no, like I want to tune in, I want to watch, and I thought Vengeance Day was awesome.
Yeah, it's still, well, I shouldn't say still. It once again is my favorite WWE programming. I still enjoy it more than Raw, and I'm enjoying it more than SmackDown. So let's just get into Vengeance Day a little bit here, starting off with the opener, which was that weaponized cage match. I thought it was entertaining overall, and I don't think it really is hard to not be entertaining with all those weapons and all those spots that you get. But what I got out of this the most, guys, is that it's good to finally see Pete Dunne once again getting some victories, because there was about a month time here in NXT where I didn't know what direction he was heading, but he gets his revenge. He beats Tony D'Angelo. Tuck, what did you think about this start to NXT TakeOver? Well, I should say
a cage match that did not overstay its welcome, right? Like how easy it is it for a match like that to go forever? I thought it got in, it got out. It did its job. It was entertaining. Match of the year? No, but it was just good. Quick, fast pace. It ended sooner than I thought it would. It wasn't a false finish, spot fest kind of thing. They went into a steel cage that had weapons attached to it, hurt each other, and then a guy won. Good.
That's all you can ask for, right, Erica?
Mm-hmm. Kyle, I don't know if you remember, but when I first started watching NXT, Pete Dunne was like the first one that I like, one of the first ones that I like, was an instant favorite. So I have like a huge like spot for him in my heart. And like you said, like he had been kind of like falling lately, or like so it seems. So I was happy to see him win. And I also kind of feel like it gives like an edge a little bit to Tony D'Angelo, because everyone was into his gimmick when he first came out. Everyone was doing the hands. Everyone was whatever the hell they were all saying. Everyone was into it, and then it kind of like felt a little flat. And I didn't really understand this feud. I was like, all right, whatever. But I liked seeing Tony D'Angelo in this type of match because I kind of got like a newfound respect for him, and I'm ultimately just happy that P won. I thought it was a fun opening match anyway.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Is I think I respect Tony D'Angelo a little more because I didn't buy into the whole character thing with him. I still don't, but I'm like, can this guy go? And then I watched this cage match. I'm like, yeah, he hung with Pete Dunne. Like
with Pete Dunne, yeah,
it's Pete fucking Dunne. He's a big deal in NXT. So props to them. Good start to Vengeance Day here. And then after that, Toxic Attraction retain their titles, which apparently it makes them the longest reigning NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, which I didn't even realize until they said it on the show. That's pretty surprising to me that that's all it took. What, 2 months, them holding the belt?
Well, think about it. Who else was there? Raquel and Dakota, and they immediately dropped them
to Ember and Shotzi.
Shotzi and Ember, who dropped them to
Indy and Candace.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
To
I don't remember after that.
I don't remember who dropped them to.
Yeah.
Gigi and whatever her name is, JC.
Oh, Io and
Zoe. Yeah.
Well, we just connected the dots there. That's actually pretty impressive.
It takes a village, as someone said.
We did it.
I don't know. Also, I forget who they faced.
So they faced Persia Parada in India.
Oh, right, Indy.
This was the one match on the card that really didn't connect with me, Tuck.
I forgot it happened later on into the show, and I'm like, oh, that was the vignette was better at the beginning. The texting between them, and I thought that was better than the match.
Keep it down.
Oh, I didn't say anything. I saw Gigi's Instagram story on Monday, and I'm like,
and you said it, and then you
Erica's the one that just went tarps off, so she's the one that needs to
I was also going to say, like, at the very least, like, did I forget the match, or was I just, like, looking at
her ass?
Yeah.
You can say it out loud. I mean, we all see it. It's there.
Yeah.
It's hard to avoid it, but that's like the main. That's sad when that's the main takeaway of a match.
And then I saw somebody tweet, which I kind of can't argue that, like, she is the draw of Toxic Attraction. Like, no offense, I really haven't been here for like this Mandy. Like when it was like Mandy that came back, I'm just kind of like, I don't like them like when she walks to the ring. Like, I just don't like.
It's still better than what she was doing.
Agreed. But I just don't know. Like, do I see her beating Raquel? I mean, I'm just too much of a mark sometimes for my own good. So, like, but whatever.
Yeah, I think another thing that I noticed in this match is that Persia Parada needs a lot of work. She still feels very green to me. It got clunky at times in this match, but Toxic Attraction's good. I like them, and there's probably nobody else that can really take those belts from them right now. So Ryan Boga said, I might go rewatch that match now. I'm sold on it.
Yeah, let us know when you're done.
We don't have to talk about suplexes or anything. We can just bring up Gigi Dolan's assets. See what I did there? Assets. We'll move on.
So let's move on.
We don't need to get into the segment itself, but I just want to say LA Knight, what he has become as this monster babyface in NXT is insane.
I love it. And you know what? It's about effing time. Because ever since, I want to say either, what was that match? War Games, or like right before it. Remember when they were in the locker room, Johnny faced maybe Carmelo for like whatever. And then he lost. And Johnny's like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. And then like LA cut that promo. And I was just like, holy shit. And then like he like walked out I think it was that night. He like walked out there and I got such a stone cold vibe from him. Like just the way he carries himself, obviously like the way he talks, obviously the what's, but I'm like all effing in on him. I love it. And I might get his shirt.
Tuck, we talked about that, the Rock and Stone Cold mixture with LA Knight, and now the crowd is firmly behind LA Knight in every segment he does.
Yeah, I am too.
NXT needed that.
I agree.
Sorry.
Wow, you took the word.
I did. Listen, I don't get
Lesnarini's topics. Lesnarini's tough to deal with. She's gonna get what she wants tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And you're gonna get what you want on patreon.com/.
Tuck, that's not a thing.
But when it is.
We're saying it so much, it's gonna have to become a thing.
We can start doing pre-sales at Jim-Tucker-89, $3.99. We'll do pre-sales.
Venmo.
That's 100. That's hundreds,
Yeah, just
not
Venmo.
dollars.
Yeah.
We should all just drop our Venmos. You can just tip us for doing these shows and entertaining you every night.
Yep.
We're just doing this.
Every night, once a week. Boom.
Actually, what else? Speaking of, well, not every night, but another night, this Sunday, well, not night, Jesus Christ, but another day, we'll get there. Sunday Shoot's making its debut this weekend.
That's right.
Bang, bang. Yep.
I know now what shirt I'm going to wear.
What's that? The Bang Bang shirt?
You will see.
She's gushing over him worse than we were for Gigi.
I
love LA Knight.
I co-sign that. That's facts.
When I was gushing.
Kyle and I co-gushed as well, but I mean, drool, like you didn't see drool coming from our mouths as we were talking about what talent Gigi had. Facts.
Did you see drool when I was talking? Is that what you're saying?
No, but the shirt you're wearing when you talk about him.
Come on, we'll save that.
Yeah, show it off. I know you want to. Future Mrs. Eddie Kingston,
That's
whatever
right.
I used to call you. Not anymore. So let's move on here on Vengeance Day. Carmelo Hayes retained his NXT North American Championship against Cameron Grimes. These two have outstanding chemistry, and this I thought was definitely one of the best matches we've seen in this new NXT 2.0. And what Carmelo Hayes has done for that NXT North American Championship is done. When he says it's the A title, he makes it feel like it's the A title in NXT.
Yeah.
I agree, and I just want to give some shine to Cameron Grimes because he's more than a cowboy hat and a silly voice. Like I forget he's so good at the vignettes and the promos and things like that I forget that he can actually wrestle, and to keep up with a guy like Carmelo Hayes, I think that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, maybe when they were like getting into it in the ring, and my thought was like, keep the belt on Carmelo, let guys like Cameron Grimes, chase him for it. But something that I took away from this match, and I don't know why I thought of it, I do know why, but I don't know why my brain went there, is no offense to Trick Williams, but I would very much like to see a Carmelo Hayes, Malcolm Bivens pairing. Can you imagine?
Oh, wow.
No offense to Diamond Mine and Ivy and Creed and Roddy, but like the two of them together, I would.
That's oozing charisma right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great thought right there. Good job, Marini. I like that. Yeah, that could be something. But Carmelo Hayes and Cameron Grimes are so fucking good. Like, I know people panicked when this whole new NXT came about, but you could see that they've found some studs, and they're doing it right in NXT, where I feel comfortable enough where these guys get that call up. I think a guy like Carmelo Hayes is ready for the main roster tomorrow. Same with Cameron Grimes.
And especially if they keep, because I know we talked about like people that don't watch NXT not knowing maybe who these people are when they come up, but to touch on it a little bit, like Ciampa being on Raw this past week, you know what I mean? Like kind of breaking them in like that. I understand it was for the whole like Ziggler thing, but like in a way, like slowly introducing them to the audience. Like I think that'd be like a good idea moving forward for people like Hayes and Grimes and whoever.
Yeah, they've been doing it here for a little bit. Grayson Waller showed up on Raw, so maybe that's the direction they're going to go with these guys. But we'll find out. After that, the Creed brothers won the Dusty Cup. I'm not a huge fan of Diamond Mine. You brought up Malcolm Bivens. I think he's probably the best part of that group, but I have no complaints with this match. I have no complaints with the Diamond Mine winning, especially with MSK winning the Dusty Cup last year. I get it, but the match was good, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys enjoyed the match, didn't you, Tuck?
Yep, I enjoyed the match. I thought MSK was going to win again going into it because they would be the first two-time, Dusty Cup champion. So you got that spin, which would kind of propel them a little bit to the main roster. But now I'm thinking, like, what does it do to them? They won it once but couldn't win it again. Are they in a worse position than they were? So that's where, in the finish of the match, the result of the match, where does MSK go from here? That's where I went.
I will say that I kind of feel like MSK is okay because now they have like the crowd back on their side, which I feel is like super important, especially in NXT. And like their first run, people were booing them for whatever reason, whatever is not important. So I don't know. I think as long as like the crowd stays on their side, they'll be okay. And I forget who is it now. It's going to be the Creed brothers for Imperium, right?
Yeah,
that's where that's going. Yeah.
But they did have a little segment there with Solo Sikoa and Walter. That was interesting. I'm looking forward to potentially seeing that. But yeah, Imperium and the Creed brothers is what we'll see down the road for the tag team titles. And then in the main event, Braun Breaker retained his NXT championship against Santos Escobar. I thought it was another good showing for Breaker. They're really doing a good job at presenting him as the guy in NXT. But when they sprinkle in the involvement of Dolph Ziggler, and you also have Ciampa involved still kind of with the NXT title scene, it makes me even more interested in what's going on with the NXT championship, because there's no guarantees that Braun Breaker is going to be able to hold on to that title for long if he's got guys like Dolph Ziggler and Tommaso Ciampa breathing down his neck.
Could you see Ciampa though and Ziggler they're almost going to be like distracted with each other and kind of maybe like turn into something between the two of them? Because I think that Braun Breaker's got a lot of people to go through.
Right.
I don't talk if you were going to say something. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's kind of he's got a lot of people to go through. He's got a lot of options. Obviously, he can lose the belt in 3 seconds or whatever, but the more, Dolph coming down and Tommaso still, and the roster that they're building, you could make him a mega star. That I see all of these as opportunities to continue to build them.
And Kyle, I know you've said this, and I saw somebody else tweet it, and I think I screenshotted it to send it to whatever, but I know we've discussed in the past, and all I was thinking during this match was that Escobar is, you said it, I said it, I think it's what WWE wanted Andrade to be. I think top, you know what I mean? And I don't know if could you see like the 4 of them maybe going to the main roster?
Yeah. I think they're ready. Think of this. Hit Row was a 4-person group that was supposed to be on SmackDown, so there's kind of that void there.
Yeah.
Maybe Legado del Fantasma's there. But no, I think that comparison is very accurate. I think ever since, before Rey, there was like Eddie Guerrero, and then there was Rey, and then after that, they were searching for that next Hispanic star because they want to tap into that demographic, and rightfully so. And then it was Alberto Del Rio, and that failed. So they were kind of banking on the fact that Andrade would be that guy, but maybe it is Santos Escobar because, he's got that group behind him. His English is a little stronger than most people, and I think everything just works with him. Like he's a smooth in-ring competitor.
I was like, he's got like that lure or allure, whatever. He's got something. He's got it.
Yeah, Tuck, you're the teacher.
If an adult has lure, that's creepy.
I think I was thinking of lore, and then I knew that wasn't right. So I was kind of just hoping that lure was right, and then I was thinking that's probably allure.
Yeah, maybe we can have a grammar show with Tuck. Just teaches us words.
I lost at Wordle for the first time today, so I am.
Oh no! Don't be one of those people that puts it on social media.
Too late. I had a 25-day win streak, and I blew it.
Wasn't it like shark?
Yeah.
Wasn't the word easy today?
It was shape.
Today's word was easy.
No, it could have been share, shape, shade, shame.
Shane McMahon.
There was a lot, and I chose all the wrong ones. So.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't win them all. You're obviously not that good at Wordle, I guess.
Start picking up bad habits.
You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy, pal.
Just don't tweet about it every day, please. Can you promise me that?
I've never once posted my puzzle. I keep it private.
Same. Nobody knows it. I'm a closet word.
Tuck,
you got it today, Tuck?
Yeah, it was easy.
Shave. That's another one. That's what did me in. How many did you get in today?
No, it's not that good.
Can we get him out of here?
For those listening at a later date, Tuck threw up number 4.
4 out of 6, and I got it before Erica did because she's still working on it. So
I can't wait to get my streak going again, and then it's your turn to lose.
Ooh, we got a little head-to-head going on.
We got Lesnar and his streak in here.
Mano for the Wordle title, since none of you guys are going to take my OTM title. So you guys might as well fight over something else because I am Mr. OTM.
What did you say?
Erica Macaroni.
He's doing the macaroni. Everybody do it now. Once again, this is why you got to watch live. You won't be able to see this shit if you're listening at a later
You
date.
won't be able to do it with us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So let's not forget though. I am the OTM pay-per-view champion. I don't plan on losing it here. And to all my haters out there was no research involved in these picks. These are straight from the dome. Mr. OTM's got all of his picks ready. So let's get into Elimination Chamber. I will go first because I am the champion. We are going to start off with Rey Mysterio versus The Miz, a newer feud after the Grit couple defeated the It couple. Looks like The Miz is moving on to the Mysterios. I think Miz needs to get a bounce-back win here. Rey's probably just going to be putting people over until he gets to that match with Dom. Don't know when that's going to be. I don't think Dom's ready. But, yeah, my pick here is The Miz. Tuck, who do you got?
I'm going with The Miz as well because I think him beating Rey leads to a feud between The Miz and Dominic. Opens doors that way. I'm going with The Miz.
Good thinking. Erica?
Thanks.
I'll also go with The Miz, and I believe 0% that you did zero research before these.
Yeah,
I literally said on this podcast I did no
research.
Thank you.
Is that the cable? Shush. So we all are going with The Miz here. If you're watching live or at a later date, let us know in the comments who you guys got winning these matches. So, Tuck, I'll let you go first here on this one. We have a Falls Count Anywhere match between Drew McIntyre and Madcap Moss.
Drew McIntyre. Do I have to? I'm not explaining. It's Drew.
No.
What if Happy Corbin gets involved and costs Drew McIntyre?
Drew McIntyre, please.
Erica?
Yeah, Drew McIntyre, final answer.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre. We'll make it a clean sweep. I unfortunately
I never want to see this again.
Yeah, I think Drew McIntyre is going to end up facing Happy Corbin at Mania. I think that's what this is leading to, which I think it's beneath.
What an interesting road.
It's beneath Drew McIntyre, I would say, after all that he's been through the past couple of years. But hey, we'll move on. We all got the same pick so far. Maybe we'll get a different one here for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between the Usos, the champions, taking on the Viking Raiders. Erica, you get to start us off here with this one.
The Usos versus
the Viking Raiders.
I gotta say, Viking Raiders do nothing for me on the main roster, and when they have the belts, they bore me. It's Usos.
Yeah. I like watching the Viking Raiders. Like, they can work in the ring. You know, they put on good matches. It's very corny, the presentation that they have on the main roster. I don't think they're the ones to defeat the ones. I think the Usos are going to retain here at Elimination Chamber, and I think Tuck's going to agree with us.
Yep, Usos. I don't think it makes sense for the Raiders to win it right now.
No. But if it was against anybody,
when the Usos lose, it has to be like a logical or a next step. Now that they've lost, it has to mean something in regards to the bloodline, and I don't think it's right now. It hasn't been like enough of a credible threat built up with ramifications put on the line to make us kind of care. That's where I'm at. Usos.
But it also gets to a point who's it going to be that's going to defeat the Usos?
MSK?
Los Lotharios? I don't know. Vogus said thoughts on the report that Vince killed the New Day name as a group. Yeah, that actually is a thing. I mean,
name them then.
They're just Big E and Kofi Kingston now. They're not.
When they came out on Monday, it was Big E and Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
What happens when Woods comes back?
He's just King Woods.
And King Woods.
Bow down.
That have never done any activities together. So
yeah, not like they're one of the best factions that have ever been in the company.
Yeah.
Ever.
Let's just forget about that they were
these three different humans.
Wow.
Yeah, what a pairing. Next match here, I guess I get to go first for this one, is one of the Elimination Chamber matches. This is a number one contenders match for the Raw Women's Championship. I believe whoever wins here goes on to face Becky Lynch I shouldn't say Becky Lynch or Lita at WrestleMania. So you have Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, who just had a very good performance in that gauntlet match, Nikki ASH, Doudrop, and Alexa Bliss. There's three names on that list that I think could win. That would be Bianca Belair. The way they built Rhea Ripley makes me believe that she could win. and then Alexa Bliss returning is very interesting. But I think the most logical pick storyline-wise is Bianca Belair, just based off the fact of what happened at last year's SummerSlam. I think they want to revisit that here at WrestleMania. So I would say that Bianca Belair is going to win this match and face off against Becky Lynch, spoiler alert, at WrestleMania. Tuck?
Yeah, that's good logic, and that's who I would have picked. But I'm going to put Rhea Ripley just to mix up a pick for once. A tie on my end doesn't give me the title, so I'm going with Rhea Ripley. Let's shock the world. Like you said, I was impressed with the gauntlet. Lesnarini is in thought. You're up.
So before Bliss was announced, I am not an Alexa Bliss fan. Point blank, period. Anytime, anyway.
It's one of the few things we agree on.
I had Bianca 100%. I still hope Bianca wins. As soon as Alexa announced herself as the last spot, especially now that she's cured and it's this and it's that, and they kind of like got her away from that whole gimmick that she was involved in, I think it's unfortunately going to be her. So I'm going to pick her. That way, either way, I win and my pick was right, or it's Bianca and she wins and I'm actually happy.
I mean, you could obviously see with our picks that those three are probably the favorites in this match. Like, there's no way Nikki ASH is winning. There's no way Doudrop is winning. Liv Morgan, maybe. It's a stretch, I think, at this point, just based on the fact of what they've been doing with her booking-wise. So I'm going to go with Bianca Belair. Tuck's going with Rhea Ripley. And Erica is going with her favorite, Alexa Bliss, in this match. Is that the pose she does?
I don't know. I did that. Yeah, when she was with the Fiend.
Oh, yeah. It was.
And I hated it.
So we have 4 more matches here. This one being Ronda Rousey.
Big card.
And Naomi. Yeah, very big card. They like to make this kind of like a WrestleMania in Saudi, I think. But we have Ronda Rousey and Naomi teaming up to take on Charlotte Flair and Sonia Deville. This was kind of built on SmackDown the past couple weeks. Tuck, what side do you lean towards?
I lean towards the Rousey and Naomi team. Not like that's a stretch, but the reason I choose Rousey and Naomi is that both of them have something to gain from it. I think they're still trying to get Ronda over as a babyface, and Naomi beating Sonia is always satisfying. I don't think Charlotte takes the pin. I think Naomi pins Sonia.
Yeah. Agreed
on everything that Tuck said.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be Ronda and Naomi. It only makes sense because we're going to obviously get those 2 matches at WrestleMania, so that'll prolong the feud.
It'll be a feel-good thing,
Yeah. So then there's just no way that anybody's going to beat Ronda Rousey or Charlotte in this match. It's either going to be Sonia eating the pinfall or tapping out, or Naomi doing the opposite. So we're all going with Rousey and Naomi in that match, which will take us to the Universal Championship. Vogus, the MVM's favorite, Goldberg, taking on the tribal chief himself, Roman Reigns. Erica, are you going to go with the shocker of the year here? Goldberg's going to defeat Roman Reigns in Saudi?
I mean, he better effing not, but I'm going to say no. He's not the one to take it off Roman. And that's all I got to say about that.
All I want in this match, Tuck, is spear, maybe a jackhammer just to, add insult to injury there. And that's it. Don't give me a 5-minute match. Let Roman squash Goldberg. Roman defeats Goldberg here at Saudi.
That's kind of where I'm at, but I do have faith based on Crown Jewel that Goldberg can still go. So I am hoping I don't want it to be a long, bad match. Give me a medium, good match. Give me a short, great match, something like that. I'm going with Roman as well.
And that's a good, sorry.
No, I don't have anything productive to say.
I was so I could care less, no offense. And I think some people obviously were groaning when he came back, but Tuck said, he can still go and let it be an awesome match. Let it be ultimately let Roman win, but let it just be a good match.
Yeah, let it be good.
Another thing I was going to say.
Can be good.
I hope that it is.
Another thing I was going to say is I've noticed that every Saudi show, they have purple in the logo. I don't know if the Saudi prince likes purple. Just an observation.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Elimination's purple and green themed, just like.
Do you
Crown
not to segue? Do you like the Saudi show better that it's Elimination Chamber, that it's an already like pay-per-view that we know that we were going to get anyway, and as opposed to
yeah, for me, and I know Tuck agrees with me. There was a reason it was a nominee. The Crown Jewel last year was really good, so this should be a decent pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're treating it more like I maybe over time they've shown that they're still getting viewers on it. A lot of people are still tuning in, so they're treating it more as just part of the overall story, when at the beginning it was like really, really glorified house shows, very predictable results and things like that. So I think something along the way has given them confidence that people are still going to watch. The Saudi Arabian flag, very green. I don't know where the purple came from.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's probably his favorite color. They're like, yeah, pal, what do you like? Purple.
You like purple, pal?
You like purple, pal? Say purple, pal 5 times fast, Erica. Go.
Purple, pal, purple, pal, purple, pal, purple, pal, purple, pal.
Let's fucking go.
Bubble butt, bubble butt.
She nailed that shit on the spot.
Yep.
We all gave her a pick for that match, right? We all got Roman. Yeah. Okay.
Roman.
So let's move on here. 2 more matches. Raw Women's Championship being one of them. Becky Lynch taking on Lita. This is fucking awesome that Lita is having a match in 2022. That's not just the Royal Rumble. I'm very excited for her to be in this position. I do think there is a chance she could win here, just to throw people off for a little bit, and then maybe Becky can win it back right before WrestleMania on a Raw or something. But I'm going to go with the man here. I'm going to go with Big Time Bex, even though I would like to see Lita maybe get a surprise win here.
Oh, I'm going to go with Lita. Saudi loves their 90s stars. Like they love those callbacks. Give the people what they want. I'm going with Lita. Let her go on a little run. She's here. Ooh. She's here for a run. She said she's here for a run. And Becky's been okay. She beat Doudrop, set a WrestleMania sign on fire. Go Lita.
So hypothetically, with your picks, if they were to happen, Tuck, you would be getting Rhea Ripley versus Lita, which actually kind of makes sense. Like I can see that.
I, unlike you, did research. So I did a lot of research, very thorough. Yep.
Bogus should be the way they construct these cards. It's very. What's your pick, Erica?
I was kind of thinking what Tuck said, and is there a reason that it's Lita at this particular pay-per-view? Like, does Saudi want Lita? Like, and I don't want it to be, so do I not see it, or am I just being selfish that like I don't want her to just have this match lose and then like go back into whatever she was doing? I would like to see her stick around more. So maybe does she get the win somehow, and does Becky get herself disqualified so she keeps the belt but Lita still wins?
Yeah, could be.
I'm gonna say that Lita wins. Becky probably leaves as champion, which is always tricky because there's really 2 sides to that you who wins and who keeps the belt.
We need to all agree on one. Like if the champion retains, is it because
or we can make it a bonus point if you do something like Erica said and that happens.
Like, am I picking who leaves with that belt, or am I?
That's how I usually go into these predictions: is who walks away with titles,
or who gets announced as the winner.
But we counted the Seth match at the Rumble as a Seth victory, even though Roman retained.
Okay.
I think it's got to be who announces who gets
the win.
The winner, like that.
Yeah,
I'm going to say Lita because I would be cool with her winning however she wins.
It is decided. That's how we're doing this now. So you 2 got Lita. I got Becky Lynch, which then takes us to the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match. You got the champion, of course, Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Riddle, and Austin Theory. I saw one of the people I follow on Twitter actually fantasy book this, and they're like, what if somebody takes out Austin Theory and Cody Rhodes is the one to replace Austin Theory in this Elimination Chamber match? And that's how you debut Cody Rhodes. That would be insane. But Tuck, I think you get to go first here. Some interesting choices here. They can go in a lot of directions, I think, but there obviously is a favorite out there.
I gotta say Brock. You know, I don't know if there's a lot of like, oh my god, that's a terrible pick. I just feel Brock and Roman at WrestleMania. We know it's already happening, but the title versus title thing. So yeah, I think Riddle would be a strong second for me, but I don't.
Yeah.
That's where my head's at.
I'm going with Brock.
Okay, Erica, you want to get crazy?
I say we all choose someone different. Because
I say we don't, and say we did.
You don't know who I'm picking.
Okay, let's hear it. I know you're thinking because
Do you really think that Brock and Roman is happening regardless?
Well, yeah, he already announced from winning the Royal Rumble that he will face Roman Reigns.
He's said that.
So then where's the fun?
Words.
That's what I don't get why they want to do the title unification match. But
wait, what?
That's why I don't think
that would be a title unification match. Title,
yeah,
or not necessarily unification.
Because
title
whoever
title,
wins this,
yeah, what Tuck said. It's not necessarily unification.
Okay.
It'd be title.
The good old tit for tit.
Right.
So technically, whoever wins this is taking the belt off Bobby Lashley, and that has nothing to do with Roman Reigns. And
correct.
Brock Lesnar is already facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Yes.
I'm gonna go Seth Rollins just because I'm just gonna keep choosing Seth until he gets another world title.
I don't hate that pick. Like, there's a lot of options I think in this match. Like, obviously you can keep it on Bobby. That's an option. I could see AJ Styles winning because it's AJ Styles. You don't need any explanation.
And he's another one that I want. Yeah.
Right. And the Riddle, you have the story already with Randy, but the only thing that makes me scared to pick Riddle is because they have that tag team title match, I believe, on Raw next week, or it might be the week after that. So maybe they're still involved in the tag team picture. What did Bogus say? Take Austin Theory out of the match.
I love Austin Theory.
I mean, he's super talented, but
I
he's
don't
definitely the
love
option out.
He's a
I would
dope.
take a selfie with him.
I like dopes.
Yeah, he got a nice selfie with Brock on Monday Night Raw.
And Brock got a nice selfie with him.
Cowboy Brock, he's a legend. Speaking of Brock, I'm going with Brock Lesnar here. I don't want Brock Lesnar to be the one to win because I've talked about it before. I don't think we need the title versus title. He already announced, like we said, that he's facing Roman Reigns. The story is there regardless if Brock Lesnar has the belt on him. At least potentially give it to Riddle and have him face Randy Orton. Have AJ Styles face Edge. Have Cody Rhodes take out Austin Theory, win the Elimination Chamber, and have Cody Rhodes be your WWE champion going into WrestleMania. Anything else sounds more interesting than just going, well, we're doing this match with Roman Reigns. Let's just give the WWE title back to Brock Lesnar. And I love this Brock. This is the best version of Brock that we've seen. I just don't think he needs the belt, but it's my pick.
Interesting.
You know, I think we all are in agreement there, though. Like, we don't think Brock needs this title.
He doesn't even need to be in the chamber. You already have a match at Mania.
Yeah, that's my thinking. So if you were to go with who you want to win, Tuck, let's just say out of those 6, who do you want to win this match?
Matt Riddle. They lose against the Alpha Academy because him and Randy get in a tiff. Bang, there you go. We'll see him.
That is true. I did say that he's got a legitimate shot. He's one of the 4. Erica, who do you want to win? If you just
Seth Rollins, that's why I chose him.
Oh, Seth Rollins. Okay, mine would be Styles just because he's one of my favorites. I mean, I think whatever match you would get out of that, whether it's AJ Styles versus Bobby Lashley, since Bobby lost in the chamber, if it's AJ Styles versus Edge, AJ Styles for Cody, I think there's a lot of other options, and then you can have Brock face Roman for the Universal title, and everyone's happy. So.
Or plug Seth in, and then Cody shows up, and then Seth and Cody, or
Seth
and Edge, and Seth and AJ Styles, or maybe it's Seth and Edge, but you know.
There's a lot of options, and I think this should be a good pay-per-view, premium live event. I got to get that out of my head.
Get it right.
You're welcome, Doc. And like we said, with Crown Jewel was good last time, so hopefully this show is equally as good, if not better. But yeah, it's that time of the show. We know what direction this is going once again. Not much of a competition the past 3 weeks to a month, and still the MVM of the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, Ryan Bogus. Unanimous decision once again.
Getting tired of it. I'm not getting tired of him winning. I'm getting tired of him squash matches week after week. You know what I mean? It's getting kind of boring. So we're gonna have to mix it up and come up with a new strat. We have to do better and creative of finding a formidable opponent. Yeah.
I think that's Erica's fault, right?
Is it my fault?
I just want to blame. I need to blame someone.
My vote.
No, it's definitely not helping with Erica.
No, my vote the other week was that Malaysian girl.
She has a name.
And she participated. Fucking bogus. Like, this is not on me at all.
She's pissed. Well, Tuck's just singing Ja Rule, and then Eric is going off, all in the same moment. Like, holy shit, that was funny. All right, so congrats, Ryan Bogus. You won MVM. It is what it is. Like Tuck said, we got to get better with creative. We have to build up some contenders. But Tuck, I do think that's all we got. Unless Marina, you got anything else to add on?
I would just like to say that Eddie Kingston came back this week, and I had stars and hearts in my eyes, and I'm really happy for that. And then next week, I'm going to AEW in Connecticut, and I'll see him there. And I hope he doesn't dodge me.
Hell yeah, have fun. Represent.
Always.
Tucky, send us home.
Ladies and gentlemen, tune in next week for our Elimination Chamber review, and also tune in on Sunday. Are we going to do the whole review on the show?
I was thinking we kind of go like off the cuff and talk about the Elimination Chamber, SmackDown, and Rampage.
We'll see you Sunday, 9 a.m. What time is it starting?
11 a.m. Central.
11 Central, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Baby, we'll see you on the Sunday shoot. And yeah, let's slap some mimosas.
Slap them.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling podcast.